breaking news that's coming in right now. In a NewsX-Sunday Guardian exclusive report, chilling details have emerged as to how the ISI is funding disaffection against the Indian state, leading to incidents of violence and stone pelting in the Kashmir Valley. In the groundbreaking report, ISI is reported to have earmarked a whopping sum of 1,000 crore as the budget for arming terrorists to operate against India. According to intelligence sources, the ISI channels this budget through the Hawala route into the Kashmir Valley, where disaffected people are paid for throwing stones against the Indian army. The money is also channelized for separatist organizations who use it to spew venom against India. Lack of development and jobs in the Kashmir Valley have made the youth an easy target for the ISI to brainwash, arm and buy them out with this illicit cash. According to highly placed sources in the intel agencies, demonetization had dealt a body blow to ISI's ability to fund the stone pelters, which saw a drastic drop in their activities. But with money supplied back to normal, the ISI is now finding it easy to channel the funds to foment trouble. My colleague Abhinandan Mishra from the Sunday Guardian, who brought us this exclusive report, now joins us live. Abhinandan, what are the details that you've gathered through in the process of, coming to the conclusion that the ISI has earmarked 1,000 crore rupees as part of its budget to fund and foment terror in the Kashmir Valley?
For me, what we have learned from our sources in the intelligence community is that since July 2016, last year, when Burhan Wani was killed, around 1,000 crore has been sent to Kashmir, various Hawala channels from Pakistan, Saudi Arabia and other countries. And this money is being used by the separatist leaders, government officials and the ringleaders of the separatist group to promote terrorism in the valley and to promote like stone pelting in the valley. It has increased, as everyone knows, in the last 6-7 months. And after the demonetization, there was a lull in this spreading of terrorism for 2-3 months. But since last November, since last January, the increase of money has again started, and now we are seeing more and more incidents of stone peltings.
That's right. We were learning of these details as well as was coming forth from the Parliament as well, from the Ministry of Home Affairs, about how money is being used in order to lure unemployed youth in Kashmir towards pelting stones at our security forces. How is Pakistan channeling this 1,000 crore rupees into the Kashmir Valley? How is it sort of, funding these elements on the ground, which are, of course, in a sense, against the Indian state? How is it channeling these funds?
Only the intel agencies have gathered the information regarding how this money is coming to Kashmir. And mostly it's through Kerala, West Bengal, and through Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. And there are very influential Hawala operators who are still working in these states like Kerala, West Bengal, and they are getting money from the Gulf countries, particularly Saudi Arabia, and this money is then being given to the separatists in Kashmir Valley. And as Rajnath Singh also recently said in one of our programs that the stone pelters are getting money from Pakistan. And despite using all the measures, the security forces have not been able to stop this flow of money because, practically it's impossible to stop Hawala trading.
Right. And how exactly is it being used on the ground as well? Have you gone into the details of how it's being used on the ground? It's only towards stone pelters, or is it being used in other ways as well to foment trouble in the valley and keep the tensions escalating?
No, it's a whole racket. The money goes to the separatist leaders. We all know who they are. And then from them, it goes to the villages, to some of the mosques which are situated in the interior areas of Kashmir. And this money is then dispersed to the so-called stone pelters. And then there are at least 300 group leaders, of we can call the ring leaders, who are organizing this stone pelting in a very systematic way, and everything is being done through Telegram channel and WhatsApp. And this detail is being said to every individual who is a part of this group, and then they are told to assemble at one place with stones, with flags at particular time. And when there is an operation going on, anti-terror operation, the same Telegram channel and WhatsApp channel is used to ask the youths to report and assemble at that particular anti-terror operation site so that they can stop the terror forces from carrying out their operation.
Right. Abhinandan, stay with us because we've got Brigadier Mahalingam on the phone line with us. Mr. Mahalingam, as you were hearing Abhinandan, who brought us that exclusive report from the Sunday Guardian, it basically says that the ISI has earmarked a whopping 1,000 crore rupees towards funding and fomenting trouble in the Kashmir Valley in terms of spreading disaffection against the Indian nation. So, you know, for stone pelters, sort of using the Hawala route, using to send that money to separatists in the Kashmir Valley, and then, of course, they use that money in order to foment trouble on the ground. How shocking do you find that figure, a whopping 1,000 crore?
It is 1,000 crores. You must see it in the light of the times. The Lok Sabha bypolls, which are due in April, is significant.
Right.
Because Pakistan wants to carry out this particular offensive inside the valley, create disturbances, and prevent people from voting so that it can show to the world community that the Indian people are not with the government of India. That is very, very significant. The second factor which we need to take into account is the stone pelters. Some of them are paid and some of them are not. And there are women and children also coming into that particular site where there is operations going on.
Right.
The question needs to be sort of raised as to why they are coming. They are coming because of the overground pressures and the gun-wielding militants who move around the valley and threaten these people. You must understand, these people have to live there. Even after the army, after carrying out the operations, withdraw from the area. They are scared of these people and they have no option but to collect in that area. And some of these children cross the red line or the cordon imposed by the army and get injured in the bargain. The entire thing is a complex issue orchestrated from across the border.
Absolutely. It is a complex issue, like you pointed out. Sir, on the one hand, Pakistan continues to infiltrate across the border. And now, of course, as we're hearing more and more details of it, the center also confirming they're using social media, they're using WhatsApp in order to spread this message, like you pointed out, for civilians to gather at these sites where encounters are happening, where anti-terror ops are taking place. They're paying money now to unemployed youth as well to throw stones at our security forces. How do we counter this?
See, the point that we must understand is, unfortunately, the government of India has been very tactical, predictive, and it has been sort of very usual. So what is required is that we cannot afford to have this war on our side of the border. The war will have to be taken to the other side of the boundary. The point that I am suggesting is, today, Pakistan is extremely vulnerable in as far as the Durand line is concerned. As you are aware, Durand line is the boundary between Afghanistan and Pakistan. Till today, no government, including the Taliban government, which ruled that place till about 2001 for about 5 years, they have not recognized the Durand line. Now, you must also understand, this Durand line cuts through the Pashtun area, which sort of adjoins the Fatah area. Now, there were movement for Pashtunistan. The Pashtuni sort of feeling for their unity and home has all along been there. And it is time that India takes up this issue. Unfortunately, we did take up the Baluchistan issue
Right.
on the pretext that it will give us dividends. without analyzing the issue in totality. Our issue which we took up, Balochistan, has larger implications which may not be possible for India to support. Therefore, this particular issue needs to be taken forward, and India, in fact, should declare that we do not recognize Durand Line as the boundary between Pakistan and Afghanistan. And it is then Pakistan will understand and realize the problems that they are putting to India, and perhaps that will be a game changer to shift the...
Right. Brigadier Mahalingam, thank you so much for joining us on NewsX with your perspective on that story. Going back across to my colleague Abhinandan for more details on the exclusive story that he's bringing us. Abhinandan for more details on the exclusive story that he's bringing us this morning. Abhinandan, like Brigadier Mahalingam was pointing out, we have to see this report of yours in the context of the upcoming Lok Sabha by-polls in Jammu and Kashmir, especially in constituencies in the Kashmir Valley. Have you, in terms of your interactions with your sources in the intel agencies, also found out that there seems to be a spike in these activities which seem to, block and obstruct anti-terror operations in view of these upcoming polls?
As Brigadier Mahalingam rightly said, that one of the reasons for this resurgence in stone pelting is the Lok Sabha elections which are due this week. And as we all know, Pakistan is fighting a dual war. Like on one hand, it's sending terrorists and fueling protests in Kashmir, and on the second hand, and on the other hand, it wants to promote Kashmir as an issue which is at the international arena. And that's why it's like it wants to, because this particular rising incidence of stone pelting and all will surely affect the polling which are scheduled next week. And this will lead to people coming out from the street to poll.
Absolutely. People will, of course, fear their security. And this is possibly one way that the separatists and, of course, their people on the ground hope that people will, in fact, not step out in order to cast their ballot in the democratic process, and that is exactly what Pakistan is also trying to achieve by funding stone pelters and separatists in the Kashmir Valley. Abhinandan, thank you so much for the details on your exclusive story. We'll keep tracking that.